90 minutes south of Arrowhead Stadium lies the great rural community of Fort Scott, Kansas, also home to Red Bull Imagination.
There's a lot more jumps to flip.
Freeride is the original form of freestyle motocross, and it's been around since the invention of the dirt bike. It's all about self-expression on two wheels today as the best riders in the world continue whipping and flipping their bikes for the culture at heights and distances that remain difficult to comprehend. Red Bull Imagination was created by Tyler Bereman and his course building partner, Jason Baker.
These guys have the ability to do anything on a dirt bike. So they're out here, and it's what they do when they go to the hills. They find different lines and they team up. They're just going to be building the energy the same way that they do when they're out free riding, play riding in the hills.
This is the ultimate dirt bike playground. This is our 4th year here at Red Bull Imagination in Fort Scott, Kansas. The camaraderie between all these riders has never been better. This is the pinnacle event in freeriding, and I'm just really stoked to play an important role in growing our sport and creating a platform for these boys and girls.
Today, 10 invited riders will compete on this dirt skate park in a team format with 5 riders on each team across 5 categories, including creative line, speed and style, big dog, best whip, and team jam, where all 5 riders on each team take a choreographed run through the Imagination course. Teams were determined by team captains, who also happen to be living legends. 17-time X Games medalist Jeremy "Twitch" Stenberg and multi-time world record champion and stuntman Robbie Maddison.
You never know what someone's going to do. Just watching everyone ride and just seeing everyone, like everyone's killing it this year so far. So as of now, everyone looks pretty equal.
After a quick breakdown of the event and categories by head judge Steve Hogglestein, the 2 team captains quickly made their picks. On Team Maddo, Patrick Evans, Julien Vanstippen, Cole Denny, Tom Parsons, and Tyler Bereman. And on Team Twitch, Josh Hill, Brian McCarty, Vicki Golden, Guillaume Navas, and Christian Dresser.
Super sick the way it all lined up with the teams, Team Twitch, Team Maddo, 2 legends, so stoked to have them representing each team. Tomorrow it's on.
With 2 days to get their teams prepared, Coach Maddo and Coach Twitch watched closely at practice to dial in which rider will participate in each of the 5 disciplines.
I want to see what people are doing on here, so I know all the options, all the transfers. I mean, I can judge it and hear the speed and kind of give advice on what gear it's in and how hard, how intense to hit it. So some magic's happening today for sure.
Just trying to find some creative lines, but the creative ones are scary.
It's hard to tell because there's so many options with this course, and you know, not every single jump's been jumped yet by every single person.
Pretty much the last shakedown day for the teams to just get acquainted, figure out their lines.
Unfortunately, Brian McCarty came up short on a big jump during practice, taking him out of the competition.
We know that every time we strap our helmet on that we're going to war. Jumps and things of this magnitude, when you fall, it's no easy fall. Do we chill and not ride, or do we ride? And I think what would McNaugh's do, and that's, he'd want us to get out and keep shredding. Today is finally the day. Team Maddo versus Team Twitch. Who's gonna take the win? We don't know, but I'm on Team Maddo, so I'm gonna go ahead and say Team Maddo. Let's go, Team Maddo.
Before the start of the event, it was discovered that head judge Steve Hogglestein incorrectly awarded the first pick at Red Bull Imagination to Team Maddo. The mishap prompted event organizers to allow Team Twitch to steal a rider from Team Maddo.
I'm going Julien.
Twitch opted for Belgian rider Julien Vanstippen, and with a team change and an updated roster, Red Bull Imagination kicked off with the first category, Creative Line. But what exactly is Creative Line? And how will the judges score this event?
This category is one of the harder ones just because this place is already exploding with creativity. Got to cater to the judges. So to find something maybe that hasn't been jumped or that maybe wasn't intended to be jumped the right direction, once you find it, to build it and pull the trigger is on another level.
I definitely got creativity covered, and I want to fulfill myself in the gnarly category. So if I can be creative and throw the gnarly factor in, I think that'll take the cake.
What the other judges and myself will be looking for, just use of that course. Maybe they've been saving something that no one's seen yet, and if they add that in with a lot of other connecting the dots across the whole course and just making something overall impression of course use and technicality, I think that's Creative Line.
First up in the Creative Line category for Team Twitch was 31-year-old Vicki Golden. Having practiced and mastered the course over several days, Vicki stood poised, ready to execute her run with precision.
And Vicki Golden is the only female competitor in this, but she's a top pick, especially in this particular event. So good at finding new hits, and that's what we're going to go for here. Not necessarily the biggest one trick, but the best combination of finding new things on this massive track. But what the riders are saying this year is the course is much more compact than in previous years, which allows you to get from one obstacle to the other a lot more quickly and unlock a lot of those lines. So let's see what Golden can do, and immediately throws a huge whip to give you an idea of exactly what these riders can do here at Red Bull Imagination. Drop in, catch the backside, and that's that creativity and the flair that they're looking for. Superman there. Guess we'll call it a Superwoman seat grab in her situation. And here we go. Here's a line she wants to unlock. Tabletop and the big tree jump. Nice. And keeps it going. A little one-hander and keeps going again into the next section. And using a couple of these berms. This is a new obstacle here going out of the shipping container. Over the Fast House Bridge, throws the stoppie. She's cooking up something here. And there it is, using the side of the jump. That's the creativity they want in this segment. She's going into the woods. I don't think anyone's even ever ridden through there. Well, that's some creativity for you. All right, Vicki Golden, up through the gears. Little hip jump, and that was two different jumps. She took in two different angles to turn it into a hip jump, and that's what, again, they're looking for, the creativity. Now gonna up the pace. Up to the top, look at that. Not afraid of the big air. And a turn down with a leg off right in front of the fans here at Fort Scott.
Vicki crafted a strong creative line, performing whips and Superman seat grabs. But she might have left an opening for Team Maddo. Cole Denny, one of the most creative riders at Red Bull Imagination. It's worth noting that Cole entered the event only 7 weeks after recovering from a broken ankle. Earlier in the week, Denny conducted a thorough test on the course, ensuring he was primed and ready for Saturday's challenge.
I broke my foot 6 weeks ago. 2 thumbs up, dude. What do you say we get the wall tap out of the way? Hopefully roll out on 2 wheels. That's a save of the day so far. I think the ankle's good.
Back at the event, Cole threw a fist bump to the crowd and let him know he was ready to ride.
You want to talk creativity, we'll just look at the attire of Cole Denny, who immediately throws a backflip, ankle injury or not. Now, some of these athletes are well decorated either at this event or X Games or many other big events around the world. Cole Denny, known for YouTube and social media shenanigans, and that really lends itself to creative lines. He'll do things like that, turning a berm, a corner, into a jump. that most people have not even thought about. But you gotta hit the tree jump. And he does with a trick to boot. The wild man from California, look, he got to the top of the triple step up to use it to get the bike stopped and go into a stoppie and show the balance. Gets some of the fans revved up and himself as well as he heads to the shipping container. No, he went on top. I was wondering about that. He actually built that little ramp out of wood to get to the top of the container. And then he jumps off of the roof jump and wheel taps on the 805 roof. So right there, 3 different sectors that were used as they were not intended, and that's where the judges want to see. Big launch here from Denny from one side to another, and he goes down.
Denny came out the gate hot with a super stylish run, flipping and jibbing his way around the Imagination course, and it was looking like he could take the category win until he mistimed the jump and was ejected from his bike. Fortunately, the 33-year-old out of Ramona, California was okay.
It's definitely sore. I knocked a filling out of my molar.
You got good dental insurance, right?
Yeah, we're squared away there. But yeah, I'm glad I'm all right. You know, everything considering, and stoked I can still support the boys. And yeah, I'm just stoked everyone came out. And yeah, I'm all right, baby. It's okay. This will actually let me heal up my bad ankle that I came into this event with. So in a couple weeks, I'll be all right.
Team Twitch took the lead with Vicki's victory. You're watching Red Bull Imagination. As we head into speed and style, having learned a backflip just a week ago, Patrick Evans was a bit wary about pulling it off on dirt during practice.
I think I do my first dirt-to-dirt backflip. It's definitely scary. I think I'll be fine, but backflips are scary, especially when you're kind of new to them. It's the first jump from the speed and style line, so hoping I can just knock it out and then ride the adrenaline rush wide open to beat Josh.
They are unbelievably talented that they can just look at something. Yeah, I'll hit that. Like, he's sizing up flipping it right now.
That was sick.
Oh my God. I don't have any words.
He hasn't even been flipping that long. It's been like a week.
Oh my God. Dude.
He was eyeing that jump up for the whole week he was here. He was like, I want to flip that. I could tell how much he wanted to do it on that jump, and yeah, he killed it.
Speed and style, it's on.
Growing more confident with the flip, Evans readies himself with a showdown with Team Twitch's Josh Hill on speed and style. Fresh off of racing Super Motocross at the Coliseum, Josh Hill proves to be a tough opponent, but he's not the only racer in the category.
I'm super excited about speed and style because in that category I'll be looking for obviously speed. Who has speed, which I think the guys are gonna be really close. And I think the team captains will be probably picking guys who have that racer background.
There was only 2 options. It was Josh Hill and Patrick Evans.
Hill probably ultimately has the most speed, and he is a great rider, phenomenal athlete, but Pat is just an amazing athlete. He's just really got a bike. He can whip it both ways. He looks great. His timing's great. His speed's right there. I think if you went out in a 20-minute moto, Hill's going to wax him, but for one lap, Pat's got what it takes, and I think he's a solid choice.
It's definitely going to be really hard to beat Josh speed-wise. I don't think he's going to mess around with too many tricks or anything. He's just going to stick to it.
At the end of the day, this is a free ride course. It's all jumps, and it's built to come out and just flow, put jumps together, lines together, do big whips, do tricks. But adding speed and style now, I don't think it's ever been done, where you're actually trying to race a free ride park.
After Hill's run, it's time for Patrick to execute his plan.
So Team Maddo's entrant, Patrick Evans. What we're gonna do here is take 1 score for your speed, your time around the course, and another score for tricks, and combine them together. So that's why it's speed and style. Now, Patrick Evans did do some racing in his younger days. But Josh Hill, who he'll be paired up against, is a current professional supercross racer. So Evans is really going to have to bust it out on the trick side. Although in practice, he was surprisingly close to Hill, even on speed, and immediately pulls a backflip. So he knows what he's up against with Hill, and he's pulling at all the stops. And Patrick Evans only learned to backflip a week ago. He goes right after it. That's one of his trademark whips there. This kid is unbelievable with whips. And there you get an example why that was wild. And another one, but remember they're going for speed as well. So they want to not only do the trick and the whip, but land the jump and get right back on the power. No time to waste here with the clock running. And Patrick Evans is on the gas, you can see it, but still throwing in some style. Oh, that was unbelievable. Whip with the leg off, and now up through the gears. Over the tree jump. And of course he's gonna give you some style there. Oh, almost went too far off to the side. That was unbelievable, nearly dragged his hand. He was so low. Scrubbing and whipping over the top. Patrick Evans, what a performance.
Patrick nailed the dirt-to-dirt backflip, along with a superb knack. Josh was left in awe.
That was sweet, dude. He threw down his flip, threw down his sick knack. I mean, he's been throwing really big whips, so it wasn't his best whip, so maybe the judges will see that, but I don't know. He's definitely got me on style today, which is hard for me to say.
Got the speed, baby.
But I got some speed.
Despite Josh giving praise to Pat's run, he had that confidence in his speed, poised to take the win as he prepared to drop in for his own run.
This is an event that should be perfect for Josh Hill, who is still a borderline top 10 professional supercross racer and has incredible flair on the motorcycle, but he's really up against a challenge. Patrick Evans might be the most improved rider at this event, so what can Hill do? And it looks to me like he's going for speed over style. Does not have a backflip, didn't throw in any of the big whips, at least not yet. Yeah, he's just trying to get the bike back on the ground, get the power down, and accelerate to maximize his lap time. There's a little turn down whip from Hill. All right, hard on the gas. Hill now. Connecting these two jumps. Then he's gonna go off the side of this one, over the back of another, throws it sideways, and tries to cut that corner as close as possible to save time. Here's the tree jump. Still not throwing in the flair or the tricks that Evans was doing, but he might have him beat on lap time. So one of the most versatile motorcycle riders in the game, his run is over. He only edges Evans by 0.01 seconds, and without the tricks, it's gonna be tough for Team Twitch.
Josh's run not only showcased speed and stylish whips, but also left the judges with a tough decision to make. After two impressive runs by both Josh and Patrick, the judges awarded the victory to Team Maddo, tying up the score with Patrick's win in speed and style. Up next would be the big dog, where Red Bull Imagination's creator Tyler Bereman would face off against Julien Vanstippen. With a category named like that, you might find yourself wondering not only what it takes to claim the win, but also what does the category involve?
Big Dogs is probably the most nerve-wracking one for everyone because there's a lot of really big jumps out there. It's always sometimes for those riders, it's like the expectations. You get picked for the big dogs. It's like, okay, I gotta hit the big stuff. Gotta go focused into that one and really pick the correct riders for that category.
Tyler Bereman's probably going to be the strongest out here just with his variety and his calculation, how he can just ride his bike and time things. He's going to be hitting probably the biggest jump out here.
Two of which being 155, one straight on, one transfer, and then one giant 180-foot one. And I knocked that one off the list last night, so that's where I'm competing in, where I'm comfortable.
Julien, he's shown that he has one of the craziest whips in the world. He did one of the most insane whips at X Games that we saw over the 120-foot ramp, so if anyone can do it, Julien is the man.
Judging big dogs, it's going to be basically who's hitting the biggest jump and taking the biggest risk.
Earlier in the week during practice, Julien decided to step things up big over the tree gap.
By the look of that, he is going to flip it. Well, we better not go anywhere, better pull up a chair here. Doing a backflip over a jump like this, it's just 100% a psychological battle. Yeah. Everyone's hyped. This is sick. They're all feeding off each other, so the only thing that's going to happen is the level's going to go through the roof.
Just feel the takeoff, you know, and just get the timing in the air. So when you pass the tree, it's still super high when you see the landing. So I had to just pull and wait, and come around super good. I'm stuck. Yeah, Julien. King Julien.
With his fellow riders singing his praises, Julien approached the event with a mindset focused on embodying the true essence of the category's name.
And this is what Red Bull Imagination is all about. Julien Vanstippen, one of the best in the game, on the podium at this event last year, and Big Dog is only the big jumps. The risk, the nerve, the daring, and you're gonna see it right now. Vanstippen out of Belgium, and he loves having this type of room to work with here in Kansas. It's a lot tighter, the facilities that he trains on normally back home in Europe. And you're gonna see it here. And a big stretched out backflip to get it started. That's a 90-foot gap, and you gotta nail the backflip timing perfectly. And they don't have a watch going here, so there's plenty of time to acknowledge the crowd, get revved up, and build the nerve for this. Indian Air! Huge leap! 185 feet out for Vanstippen! 185 feet. And makes it look fairly easy at the same time. And that's where I say that the nerve, the courage, the adrenaline, you put it all together. And then one other element, he's going to the fans now. Ah, such a great personality, the very friendly rider out of Belgium. And that's the vibe of this whole event. To get a chance to work on a playground like this, yes, it's competition. Yes, the nerves are high, but it's also a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them to hit obstacles like this, and that's what they live for. And I guarantee you, Vanstippen, he's barely even moving right now. His heart rate is through the roof because he's headed to the 185 feet again in a Superman! It's simply incredible. And to do it throughout practice runs is one thing, but to do it when it counts with the judges watching and execute to perfection, what a run for Julien Vanstippen.
Kicking things off with a hella stretched out backflip, Julien made it clear to the crowd that he is here to leave a lasting impression. Adding to the spectacle, he pulled off a massive Indian Air over the 180-footer and capped it off with this flawless Superman seat grab over the course's biggest jump. With Julien's run securely in the bag, Tyler gives his fellow rider his deserved props, amplifying the bond they share with freeriding as he sets the stage for his own impressive run.
And Bereman lining this up. Now, they don't have to use the same jumps. There's several Big Dog hits on this, and he's pointing a different direction than where Vanstippen went. And I think this right here, the flare, you see him working the fans, that's for the fans' sake, but also for himself, to build the nerve and courage to do this. And he's gonna go over the top of the roof. And that is the line where we saw McNarls get injured, and that just shows again that courage of these riders to go out and attack something where they know where the downsides are. Over the tree line, foot off. That was a massive knack. Now the stoppie, and he's already got one big leap in his back pocket with that big jump over the fast house roof. But Bereman's not done. And right here, again, this is like a run toward the vault in the Olympics. You've got to have everything right in your mind and everything else. The full focus for a turn down whip on the 185-footer. From the mind of Tyler Bereman, this is what he dreamed of, literally, to build a course to do things like this. The biggest hits you'll see anywhere, and the fans absolutely love it. Oh, everybody's getting a high five here from the inventor of this event. Does he have one more hit in him? And I want to stress, because the riders are here all week practicing to put these jumps together, by the time we're here on comp day, they're all sore. The ankles, the wrists, the back, you name it. But adrenaline takes over now. Bereman goes huge with a knack on the big dog. I'm going to say that was approaching 200 feet on that one. And Tyler Bereman lives up to his billing. He's massive when it comes to the massive hits, and he certainly was on this run. And make it go full circle, he soared over the top of that fast house roof, a line we did not see coming in this event, and he used it right off the bat.
Tyler decided to let it fly, featuring an extended knack-knack, a crisp turn-down whip, and another stylish knack-knack over the massive jump. This performance not only showcased his skill, but also propelled Team Maddo into the lead, securing his claim to the Big Dog title. After the Big Dog, Team Maddo held the lead, with the overall victory still up for grabs. You're watching Red Bull Imagination. Transitioning from Big Dog, Team Maddo was up 2-1, with Best Whip up next. Red Bull Imagination brought together some of the best whippers in the game, with 6 riders gearing up to perform. But the burning question is how the judges determine the ultimate winner.
For the best whip category, we will have both Team Twitch and Team Maddo picking 3 riders, 3 of their best whippers from each side, and it's going to be knockout style. Basically, we'll have all 6 riders. It'll be alternating, so it'll be like 1 from this team, 1 from that team. Every other one, all 6, and then the 2 that didn't do the best whips get knocked out. Then we go to 4 riders, 2 riders, and then there's a winner.
I'm looking for not just one big whip, I'm looking for someone who is actually a whipper, who has mastered maybe 2 or 3 different styles.
You gotta do the biggest whip. It's kind of my forte. That's what I've been competing in most of my career. So now that Julien swapped teams and left us, traitor, now we got to contend with him, which makes it a little more of a task.
Best view is gonna be on the tower line, so which is 3 jump in a row. So I will try to do all my type of whips, so turn up, turn down, and normal whip, motor whip. But this is my opposite side, so I need to work on it a little bit.
I think I have 3 of the best riders in the world, so it's going to be one crazy whip show.
And if the competition wasn't fierce enough, Mother Nature decided to join the party, upping the stakes for these riders battling both each other and the elements. First up in Best Whip, Pat Evans.
Patrick Evans already with a win under his belt in speed and style, and dare I say an upset win to take a professional Supercross race winner in Josh Hill down in that division. But this is his true specialty, whips. He has been throwing incredible style on whips for years, but he has really stepped up the game for Imagination. He went from left to right and then right to left. He flipped it, and then look at that turn down. Unbelievable. Patrick Evans has brought his A+ game to Imagination. Can he win 2 events here? Oh, that is as close to upside down as you're gonna get on a whip. And what I like is every whip had a completely different look to it. And then combine that with a backflip that he threw earlier, there is no doubt P. Evans, he is now part of the elite of free riding.
Evans sent it on his first run and the judges took notice. But with 5 more riders to go, his advancement to the next round wasn't sealed yet. Guillaume Navas from Catalonia, Spain was up next.
And let's see what the Spaniard Navas can do here. He was really impressive at this event last year, got a feel for it. There's so much more to it than just the competition. It's really the camaraderie as all these riders work together to unlock these obstacles. And then finally on comp day, it's time to take everything you've learned throughout the week and throw down. Just like that. Oh, Guillaume Huger just got the bike pulled back in time, and that one over the top of the fans. Look at this jump line, even takes the leg off. Setting up for another. That's a little bit more of a booter, more vertical on that one. And a great run for Navas. They all can whip a motorcycle, but very few can whip like that.
The 26-year-old Spaniard put down a nice jump line despite dealing with some wind gust. He'd have to wait and see if he did enough to move on to the second round. Three-time X Games gold medalist Tom Parsons was next.
Tom Parsons, now a veteran of this sport, 41 years old, but do not let that fool you. When the helmet goes on and it is time to put on a big run, he still can do things like that. And I believe that's just a starter for Parsons. We know he can whip it even harder, and he will. And teammates with Evans and Tyler Bereman in this event. There it is, there is Parsons showing what he can still do. He had that bike backwards in the air, barely pulled off on the landing. And he is whipping it to the absolute last inch before pulling that bike back, flirting with disaster. And look at that turn down. I don't even know if these are whips anymore. We have completely blurred the line between whips, 360s, backflips, and more.
With Parsons wrapping up his run, the spotlight shifts to Christian Dresser from Temecula, California. As Dresser eyed up the course, we look back at a moment earlier in the week where he and Coach Twitch received some valuable advice from Pat Evans to fine-tune their strategy.
You should have Rob stiffen up your forks real quick. Your back end looks good, but your front looks way too soft. Like, you should be landing way smoother. But the whips look sick on that. You do. Because the one time you landed way over there, like if you do a turn up and land down there, it probably look pretty sick.
All the landings right here are pretty tough. Everything shoots you so high this year, so.
No one else is gonna pick this jump for their whip jump.
I can go way bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's not a set course, bro.
It's not set yet. We're gonna let all the riders pick what they want to whip on. Yeah. Yes.
It's this line, dude.
All right, you're going down this.
You gotta get your team together, dude. You don't even know the rules.
Well, I don't.
It's gonna be these three. That's why they redid all those.
All right, Dresser, let's go over there. We can thank the other team for that. Yeah, you did. You should have just shut up and let us practice over here, dude.
With a new plan in motion, Dresser descends into his run.
And Christian Dresser, he will do things smooth. Sometimes you want those violent whips where you're really muscling the bike from one side to the other. This is all about art form. This is technical prowess. It is smooth. Look at that, just gliding through the air. And it's gonna be so hard for the judges. Which style are they going for? Poetry in motion from Christian Dresser. I'm curious about this next one. Here it is. Oh, just beautiful. Makes it look like you could do it. It makes it look so simple, so effortless. But it takes a lot of practice to be able to do something so difficult and make it look so easy. Beautiful style in the oppo whip there.
Unfortunately, the 21-year-old Dresser's first run may not have been what he hoped for. Tyler Bereman was up next, and the Imagination creator put down a solid whip line.
Tyler Bereman at this event might be known for the massive obstacles and the big hits, but he makes his money in Best Whip. He took the gold at X Games this year in this competition, Best Whip. And you know on a course like this where he can really uncork it, you are going to see his true talent shine. Getting a run for it. Here it comes. Beautiful turn down. And that one, he went backwards in the air and a leg off. Very impressive, although I gotta say, Patrick Evans, I think, is able to go head-to-head with this with the run he put on earlier. Let's see if Bereman can go even bigger. I love that one though, where they get vertical, a little bit more hang time with less distance, more height.
With only one rider left to go in round one, Tyler's fate rested in his hands. Could Julien, the newest member of Team Twitch, renowned for his whips, be the one to disrupt Tyler's chances of advancing?
Julien Vanstippen gonna take to best whip. Just like Bereman, these guys can do the big dog leaps and the massive tricks, but they might be even more impressive with whips. Oh, that's nothing. He's gonna get a big run now. Look at that! Had the front wheel higher than the rear and counterclockwise completely. Unreal! I don't know if I've ever seen whips like what the Belgian rider is throwing down right here. Julien Vanstippen. Unbelievable. And the fans love that, and he loves them to have a chance to get at this playground and uncork everything he's dreamed of. Look, there's Tyler Bereman. He's pumped for him. They have both gone to another level.
The Belgian laid down an unbelievable whip line and moved on to the next round. 4 riders advanced. For Team Maddo, Pat Evans and Tom Parsons. For Team Twitch, it was Julien Vanstippen and Christian Dresser. You're watching Red Bull Imagination. With Tyler and Guillaume knocked out of the competition, the stage was set for the final 4 contenders. Evans was the first to drop in for Team Maddo.
Patrick Evans has been a revelation. Can he step up the game and beat the best in the business? And he has always been good at whips, but next level right now, look at that! Over the top of the billboard and upside down, backwards. I can't even count it, multiple directions, unreal! And his teammates know they've got a runner now to win this event. Patrick Evans has been unbelievable and even getting stronger when it counts in the comp. This kid might be the new name to watch at this event going forward. An incredible performance.
While his teammates cheered for his second run, the question lingered, would the judges agree? Tom Parsons dropped in right after Patrick, determined not to be at the bottom of the list.
And Parsons holding it a little longer. Everybody looking to step up here in their second rounds. Let's see if he has more up his sleeve. The oldest rider in this group, showing he's still got it. Oh yeah, he does. Almost brought the rear wheel all the way around, and then backwards over that one. And another one, holding it to the last possible moment. Tom Parsons. Okay, this is gonna be his last jump. Oh, I think he got some wheel spin, still managed to turn it into a whip. Maybe not quite everything he wanted on there, but the panic rev gunning the engine in midair still made it sound cool.
At 41, Tom Parsons was cruising with a solid line until a slight slide off the face on the last jump, wondering if that would be the nail in the coffin. He'd have to wait and see. Meanwhile, over on Team Twitch, Christian Dresser knew he'd have to step up from his last run if he wanted to advance.
So this is Christian Dresser again, so smooth, but I think he's gonna have to turn a little bit more aggression. Pretty to watch. Oh, that is good. He went from one direction to the other, and a little more speed here. Yeah, he definitely has stepped up the game here for this round. And one more. So he's going for distance over these jumps as well as the style, and steps up the game, and the crowd definitely likes it.
Dresser was pumped. Up next, his teammate Julien Vanstippen. JVS brought the gas to his semifinal run and cemented his status as a contender for the finals.
Well, we've been talking about how they're going to step up, but I don't know how you can go beyond what Vanstippen already did in his first run. I can't imagine getting even more extreme on the angles. And there it is again. Well, maybe just rinse and repeat. Do what you did before. How are you gonna top that? Unbelievable, and he gives the crowd a look in midair. And what I want you to watch, it's unbelievable, the angle of the bike compared to him. He stays in one place, watch this, and the bike all the way around. Unbelievable. He is redefining the whip game.
Without question, Julien was in the finals, leaving the other 3 riders on edge. After the tension, Tom Parsons and Christian Dresser were out. Julien of Team Twitch would face off against Team Maddo's Pat Evans. Evans would be the first to tackle the course. Earlier in the week, Evans and Tyler strategized on jump formations and whip approaches, paying off in the final moments of the competition.
The tower hip a little bit steeper, but the hardest part every year we tried to fix that thing, and it's really hard to get more dirt up that.
It feels that one's pretty good.
It's not
that
one's
bad. Whippable. The second one, if you added that dirt, it would also give us like 2 feet back, so you'd have to hit it as hard.
Maybe make the top a tiny bit steeper if the belly's not as quick. So, and then if the landing gets pushed up and it's knuckled, then it'll be a proper landing. And I think we could properly like land with a fistful of steel on the brakes on the first one, and then yeah.
P. Evans, welcome to the elite of the elite, into the finals, eliminating huge names to get here. He has gone from one of the better riders to maybe the best if he can win this one. And he has the skills to do it. Look at that distance, angle, both directions. Those were 3 massive and completely different whips. I don't know who has that kind of versatility in their game. Patrick Evans, easily the most improved rider this year and maybe the best overall. And when you're Tyler Bereman, you're putting this event together in your, imagination. This is what you want, a free rider like Patrick Evans to keep progressing, to keep getting better, and to now maybe be one of the best.
It's gonna be close.
As Julien geared up for his final run, Patrick couldn't help but have concerns. The burning question loomed, who would emerge as the true king of the whip?
They push each other throughout the week to higher levels than they could do on their own. And can Vanstippen do that? Can he match or exceed what Evans has thrown down? That was good. I don't know if it was quite as much as he had in his first run, but that whip was unbelievable. And I love the extension over that one, but I'll tell you, he's going one direction each time. Evans is going left to right. How will the judges score it? One more jump. Oh, he gets off to the side. I think Evans might have it.
It was determined that the overall winner of Best Whip would be revealed after the Team Jam. This ramps up the stakes as we shift into the final category. You're watching Red Bull Imagination.
We end on Team Jam. There's a lot of variety out there, and I think what the Team Jam's gonna come down to is to be out there and put on the best show for the audience.
That is our background. A lot of us do freestyle shows and we know how close we can and can't get. Our job is our showmanship.
I'm looking for something that's been actually planned and thought through and probably practiced a little bit. I think the more you put into that and spending time with your teammates, that's the winner of that one.
We're just going to be coordinating some lines, crossing over each other, jumping around each other. It's going to be fun.
In my eyes, that's the nuts and bolts of freeriding for me. When we go out to the hills and we get to ride and cruise, like the progression and the energy, more or less synchronized swimming run on dirt bikes, synchronized dirt biking.
As the final event arrived, both teams were pumped to showcase exactly what the fans came for. The best free riders on the planet riding together in a team line, just like they do in the hills of Southern California. Team Twitch's Guillaume Navis, Vicki Golden, Christian Dresser, and Julien Vanstippen took to the course first.
This is gonna be fun. Kind of like what we used to have as a whip line in freestyle competitions where they'd all hit one jump and whip together. Julien Vanstippen in this group, and there they are, flying in formation for Team Twitch. They got a little disjointed there on different portions of the course. That's what the judges will be looking for. But it's hard to knock when you see them taking leaps like that. All right, Golden, Vanstippen, Dresser, Novice back together here. And over the tree line. Oh, that is pretty. And it really gives you a scale of how big they're going. And this is the look if you're out in the hills of Southern California, dirt bikes everywhere attacking the range, but now they get to do it in front of the fans.
Twitch's team put together some stylish lines with a solid amount of flair. It was clear this team was well prepared for the event, but was it enough to earn the Red Bull Imagination trophy? With Cole Denny out, Team Maddo had to make a strategic pivot. Stepping in would be none other than the team captain himself, Robbie Maddison.
So now it's Team Maddo, and in more ways than one, you see on the left side with the t-shirt and shorts, Robbie Maddison himself on his own team having to fill in for Cole Denny. Now this is what I like. You see that they're not in the same sectors, offset jumps. You've got the burnout jumping over the top of Madison on the Fast House Bridge. Plus, you've got the style of Parsons and Patrick Evans, who have been so good throughout this event. Nice by Tom Parsons right there. Now they're back in line for an old school whip train with Bereman, Parsons, and Patrick Evans, have we mentioned, again, probably the most improved rider of this event year over year. You throw in his style, look at that. Maddo with the burnout, Bereman goes over the top. Back together for the tree line. Oh, that is pretty. And most importantly, well coordinated between all the athletes, and that's what the judges want to see. Tyler Bereman punctuates it with a burnout on the Fast House Bridge.
Despite their team's amazing performance stacked with showmanship, the judges had to take into account the apparent lack of preparation and choreography and handed the win to Team Twitch. However, as the scores were tallied and the final decision from the judges were revealed, Patrick Evans earned the win in Best Whip, which secured the overall victory for Team Maddo. Yet in the end, they are all winners, driven by their passion for freeriding at the highest level on the best freeride course ever built.
We are just scratching the surface with this whole thing. This is the vision that I see and the way I see it. Like, freeriding is not a competition. The best riding and progression comes when we push each other together